What if I told you someone left a 20-year career, bought a business in the United States without ever having run that type of business before, and used that decision to legally move and live there? Most people wouldn't take that risk, but Umesh did, and it worked. Coming up, we'll break down his full journey step by step, how he went from feeling stuck to finding a real immigration path, how he chose a business that actually qualified, what happened during the approval process, and what his life looks like now after starting over from zero. And here's something important. The visa that made this possible is called the E2 Treaty Investor Visa. It's a visa that allows people from certain countries to live and work in the United States by investing in and running a real business. But, and this matters, it's not automatic and it's not simple. Every step has to be done correctly. In today's video, Umesh shares his full journey from spending over 20 years working in IT in the United Kingdom to stepping into a completely different life as a business owner in the US. Along the way, you'll see how this visa actually works in real life, the decisions that can make or break an application, and the moments where things still feel uncertain, even when everything looks right on paper. We'll also break down the key practical elements that many entrepreneurs focus on when preparing for an E2 Treaty Investor Visa, so you can understand what actually makes a case work. And at the end, there's a quick quiz to test how much of this you picked up. We've put the questions and timestamps on screen so you can jump to what matters most to you. Let's dive into his story.
Just a quick reminder, if you appreciate this kind of in-depth content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more content. Now, on with the video.
Leaving a stable life.
Okay, so I'm from the UK. I worked as an IT guy in the UK, did that for about 20 years or so. And I've bought a beauty salon. It's located in Studio City. Specializing eyelash extensions. We specialize in facial skincare, and it's a great little salon in a great location. And I'm glad I purchased it. So I've only really been here on holiday. So I've been to New York a couple of times. I've been to Las Vegas a couple of times, Buffalo a few times as well. And really, I wanted to have a lifestyle change. So I looked around. Australia was a possible destination. The US was a destination for me as well. I did my research, and in the end, I decided upon the US because I thought, well, it has a lot going for it. So in terms of me as an IT guy, I felt that I'd have better prospects out there. As a business, running a business, I felt that I would have better prospects in running my business as well. And truth be told, I just wanted more sun as well.
Every major life change starts the same way, with discomfort. After 20 years in IT, Umesh had stability, a predictable routine, a clear future. But he wanted something different. More freedom, a better lifestyle, more control over his time. Imagine two people. One stays in a stable career for decades, safe and predictable. The other, like Umesh, takes a calculated risk to build something new in another country. One avoids risk, the other creates opportunity. Let's be real for a second. Most people say they want change, but never act on it. So be honest. Are you the type of person who would actually take this risk? Or the type who would stay comfortable? Drop your answer below.
Discovering the visa.
One of my criteria when I was looking for a business is saying, well, I want to be somewhere where it's sunny, and I want to be on the coast, and that was it. It was quite a broad remit because you've got Florida, you've got San Francisco, you've got Los Angeles, you've got San Diego. It's quite a broad remit. So I wasn't too fussed about exactly where I ended up, as long as there was some sun and I had a better climate than I had in the UK. Well, I did my research. I was just looking at ways of how I could go to the US, and it wasn't looking too great. And then I stumbled upon Chris's site, and I followed through, and Chris made a convincing argument and I was convinced by his presentation, and I decided to take the plunge. I decided to go through it. And from my perspective, I'm very business oriented anyway, so I'd always been wanting to create a business and expand a business. That's I have an entrepreneurial spirit. So that's I had to the way I could get into the US was through getting onto a visa that specifically required you to purchase a business. It seemed all like a great fit. So how they're going to, if it wasn't a burden on me.
This is where most people get stuck. Umesh didn't, because he found a path that gave him direction. The E2 Treaty Investor Visa. This visa allows citizens of countries like the United Kingdom to live and work in the United States by investing in and actively running a business. Here's how it works. You invest your own money into a real business. You must be involved in running it, and the business must be viable, not just symbolic. But even with a clear path, the process still takes time, documentation, and the right decisions at each stage. There are no guarantees, but there is a way to approach it strategically. Umesh already wanted to build a business, so instead of forcing a visa, he chose one that aligned with his goals. That's why it worked. And this is where opinions get divided. Do you think it's fair that someone can move to the US just by investing in a business? Or should it be harder than that? Agree or disagree? Drop your answer below.
They said my EB1 needed more categories. I can't even dock. What am I gonna do?
I need to find the right lawyer that can navigate me through this crisis. I need my EB1 so my new life can begin. These lawyers are amazing. They are walking me through every questions, making sure I don't miss a thing. Thanks to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, I'm cleared to land. But my career is gonna take off.
Houston. He got his visa.
Need help with your visa? Book your free consultation now at www.breakthroughUSA.com and let us take care of you.
Choosing the right business.
Well, my experience was with the E2 process itself was quite good. There's a lot of documents you have to find that I have no idea where these documents even existed, but we have to find those. But on the side of on Chris's side, everything was fairly straightforward. You find the documents, you file them, and that was quite a well-trodden path on Chris's side, so that was relatively straightforward. Now, where the time got taken was in finding the business, and for me, I was quite prepared to wait to find something that I really wanted and that I really felt I could grow and fall in love with, than something that's just getting here for the sake of getting here with a business I wasn't happy with. So, and that was the great thing, is that Chris's team were very patient, and so was the business broker that Chris put me in contact with. And that was another great thing as well, is that I didn't have to find my own business. Chris put me in touch with a business broker that he had worked with before, and the business broker worked as my agent and sought out businesses on my behalf that that met my criteria. So it meant that I could carry on doing my day job, and I was safe in the knowledge that I could go home and watch evening TV while someone in the US was finding a business for me. So I didn't have crazy long hours or stressful nights trying to think, what am I going to find this business from?
This is where strategy matters most. The visa depends on the business. Umesh didn't rush. He waited, evaluated, compared. Because under the E2 Treaty Investor Visa, the business must be real, operational, and viable. Imagine this. Someone rushes and buys any business just to apply faster. Umesh waits, finds the right one, and builds a stronger case. One risks denial. The other builds approval into the process. Would you risk choosing the wrong business just to move faster? Or delay everything to get it right? Speed or certainty? Tell us in the comments below.
When it becomes real.
So anytime I had a question, get on the email or get on the phone, someone would make an appointment with Chris would give me a call back, I'd have a chat, and sometimes it would be 5 minutes, sometimes it'd be half an hour, so there'd be an hour. And I had each and every single one of my reservations or concerns answered. And I was quite, I had a lot of questions. So I did a lot of research and I was trying to find stuff out, and Chris answered all of them. And so, yeah, I would, if I was doing this again, I would certainly pick Chris's team again. Well, I at first had to ask her to make, just to confirm. I said, well, so am I approved? Because it wasn't clear. At the time, she just kind of said, right, off you go. And take this form to this other place here, and they'll take your passport. And so I says, well, am I approved or not? So it wasn't immediate, but to be honest, I was just pinching myself. It was a little bit surreal. I said, is this really happening? Because at that point, you're kind of thinking that, well, this is, something we've been working towards, and you have all these doubts in your mind what it's going to work for you until you got the visa and your passport. You're thinking, oh, could it all fall over? But I was ecstatic when I got it. I was delighted, and I started messaging everybody that I knew, and went back to my home, and we went out for a meal.
After months of preparation, everything builds toward one moment, the decision. But here's what most people don't expect. Even then, it doesn't feel certain. Until the visa is in your hands, it feels like everything could still fall apart. And when it finally happens, it feels surreal, because that's the moment everything changes. After months of uncertainty, do you think this level of risk is justified? Or is it something most people should avoid completely? Would you go through this? Yes or no? Drop your answer below.
The lifestyle shift.
Well, due to come out to the US, because I had some loose ends to tie up, so really I was just going around and meeting close friends, and just having a few drinks to go over the good times, and that's how it was. But that was and it did feel like it was a new part of my life starting, right? I felt once I got that approval, it felt like there was something very new starting. So that was really, really good. Really an improvement in my lifestyle even, right? Because I'd been working in IT in the UK, and it was very much about long commutes, overcrowded trains, 9 to 5s, and then same on the way back, right? And that was pretty much it. And I was also a little bit concerned about job prospects over there. And I'll say, the UK is infamous for its dreary weather. So much so that when the sun shines, we celebrate. But so I'm looking for very much an upgrade in lifestyle, very much an opportunity to be outdoors more, very much an opportunity to be my own boss, and better prospects in terms of job and work. And it's a move. I think I've certainly achieved that. I walk to the Salon every morning, so about 20 minutes walk. I take a break midday and I go to the gym, come back to the Salon and manage the Salon. It's all been a massive lifestyle upgrade for me. I'm a lot more relaxed, I'm a lot calmer, and I'm looking forward to each and every day that I'm here.
This is where Umesh's life truly changes. Back in the UK, long commutes, crowded trains, routine. Now he walks to his business, takes breaks during the day, and runs his own schedule. Even something as simple as controlling his time day to day became a major change. This isn't just a career change, it's a lifestyle transformation. And how did the visa make this possible? The E2 Treaty Investor Visa allowed Umesh to live in the United States, operate his business, and build a completely new lifestyle. Now that you've seen the outcome, would you trade a stable life for this kind of freedom and uncertainty? Or is stability still the better choice? Let us know in the comments.
At this point, you've seen how much of this process depends on decisions made early. Let's see how much of this you picked up.
Question 1. True or false? The E2 Treaty Investor Visa requires you to actively be involved in the day-to-day operations of the business. Answer: true. You must direct and manage the business. Question 2. True or false? Choosing a business quickly is the best strategy to speed up the visa process. Answer: false. Taking time to evaluate the right business can strengthen the application. Question 3. True or false? Aligning your personal goals with the visa requirements can improve your overall strategy. Answer: true. A strong alignment makes the process more coherent and effective. Question 4. True or false? Even after the visa is approved, it's normal to still feel uncertainty about the process. Answer: true. Many people still feel uncertainty until everything is fully in place. Question 5. True or false? Moving to the United States through this type of visa only changes your job, not your lifestyle. Answer: false. It often leads to a significant lifestyle transformation. How many did you get? Be honest and drop your score in the comments.
Umesh's journey wasn't luck. It was a decision, backed by strategy. From a 20-year career to building a new life in the United States. But if you break it down, his process followed a clear pattern. Choosing a visa that aligned with his goals. Taking the time to find the right business. Making sure that business met the actual requirements. And preparing everything properly before moving forward. Those are the practical elements that make a case work under the E-2 Treaty Investor Visa. And when those pieces come together, this isn't just an idea anymore. It becomes real. Because in the end, the biggest risk isn't failing, it's never starting. What part of this story inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments and follow our channel for more stories just like this.